on dark brown and black little girls and boys, hoping that our fighting spirit will be destroyed. When they knock us down, we rise stronger and faster. Old Negro spirituals occupy our souls. Help us to remember that again, we will never be sold. The freedom fight never ended. And throughout this nation in truth, we shall defend it. Standing on the backs of our ancestors whom we can't let down. By our fist in the air and from our mouths, revolution is the sound. The value of a life should be the same. All this injustice, we must really find change. I'm tired of watching mothers' tears fall like rain. I'm tired of watching mothers' tears fall like rain. We must find the diamond in this mess, because it's way too much distress. Then we can say, well done, and we can rest. That's Black Lives Matter. If y'all see me, feel me out there, snap. Let it get in your soul. Let it get in your soul. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate everybody out there that's listening. So we're gonna just go on and keep it moving. Like I said, I planned on, if you saw my post, I planned on giving you some of everything. I planned on some of this love that I'm wearing right now, and I planned on giving you some hope. So this next piece is called To Resist. First, all gay setting. Check my deodorant because from nerves sweating, smiling, joining conversations, I met this gorgeous sensation. Overhear how his father still kisses him, smiling inside, to know that amongst family, he was out and proud. So I surveyed the crowd, scholars and business owners who live their lives with their partners. Today I ask myself, why did legalizing gay marriage take so long? Soon to become this title of a gay blues song that the music industry still won't play because they tell me my style is a little too gay. People tell me to choose a struggle. That race and gay rights are the same, when both are just looking for fair treatment in this political rights game. To not feel that who I am brings shame. When I hear the word resistance, I think stand. Stand against the discrimination that's causing this hate of nation. Stand against all violence to those that aren't afraid to be them, because our babies are killing themselves while this matter sits on a shelf. My resistance is finding solutions to this hateful pollution. It took too long for Houston to have his first out gay politician. It took too long for marriage equality to be put on the ballot so that me and my wife can get married legally and be married like any other couple. It took too long. I resist anyone out there that can't see that love is blind and that for true freedom, it's time to resist. I got one more piece for y'all, man. I hope y'all felt that. I hope y'all got to resist some things. So it's on the album. It's in the book that fell on the floor. Live, Love, Dream. It's in the book. So holler at me. But this piece is to my skin to give a piece of me and hopefully share a piece of some other people around you. Again, this is Beneath My Skin. Beneath my skin lives a who's had it rough, made it through when the days were tough. You know, when to feel was just too much. Beneath my skin lives the passion world, something beautiful. Words that heal and reveal your inner truths, the real you. The one that still lives and fears for people's equalities. See, I live in the U.S., which gives me rights at being whoever I want to be. Politicians lie to get you on their sides. Then when issues arise, they run and hide, instead of stopping all the hatred that's on the rise. Beneath my skin lives a heavyweight boxer, taking jabs of negativity while swinging hooks of self-esteem that never allows us to fall amongst the stealers and robbers of dreams. Dancing around this ring called life, it steps toward the future while swinging those of hopes to their soul, knowing that after the pain follows. Beneath my skin, veins run with red ink, so that each time my pen meets paper, I give a piece of my soul, knowledge that my grandmother told. Beneath my skin are many layers of who I am and who I strive to be. One of a lover and one that loves daily. Sharing trials so that others gain strength to see things clearly. I'm still learning. And at times, yeah, it's hard to be me. People only speak on what they see, never acquiring, thus never learning my realities. Beneath my skin lives the secret that a little girl carries of molestation. Not wanting to bring embarrassment or shame, so she walked around as if nothing changed. Till one day, a strain this became. So she forgave herself, because she was never the blame. And now, what's beneath my skin, I wear proudly on top. I'm Lady B Smooth. I appreciate y'all for having me. I appreciate every listener out there. I hope you enjoyed this performance. I am thankful to be here. I am thankful to be alive. I'm thankful for Black Lives Matter, for who I am. I'm thankful for being a woman. I am thankful. I give love. I give love. And the only way that is if we give love. And that's what I give today. And I give hope. And I give love. And I give pieces of me. Lady B. Peace. Thank you.
All right, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you, Lady B Smooth. That was amazing. Let's give it a round of applause, all of you. Thank you so much. Just thank you for that love. Thank you for that power. Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you for your work. Thank you so much for your work. I get the great honor and pleasure of introducing Maya, who introduced me just a minute ago. Maya is an amazing, amazing woman. Maya is a Guatemalan American queer badass femme who I adore and love, who I've spent many, 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 many fun times with, dancing, partying, writing, being serious, being critical, all those good things. Maya is the author of the Cha-Cha Files, a Chapina Poética. Is a queer femme Guatemalan writer and educator. She gives readings, lectures, workshops, and also teaches as a lecturer at UC Davis, UC Santa Cruz, and San Francisco State University in Chicana, Latino, and X studies. And sometimes they even let her teach creative writing. She is amazing. I'm going to give it up to Maya right now because we don't need to waste any more time. Enjoy, Maya. Thank you so much.
Yes, enjoy me. I'm so happy to be here with all these beautiful people from Dallas, from San Antonio, Los Angeles, from New York. I am coming to you, Oakland. And this first piece is from my book called The Cha-Cha Files. It's called Femme on Purpose. I just want to give you a warning that there are, really, there's rough language, especially in the beginning of it. So if you need to take care of yourself, and it's also about femtrans solidarity. So here we go. Words tattooed like nightmares. Puta, perra, traidor, mojada, wetback, fucking weirdo, cunt, whore. You're not a woman. Pinche drag queen, tranny, fucking freak, jota, maricon, fucking bitch. Get out of my way, you fucking bitch. She yells these words, crouching down. In my classroom, looking each student in the eye, hissing and taunting, not letting them settle into their seats for their introduction to 101. Looks of shock, confusion, disgust, recognition, discomfort, sadness blink back at her, dart over to This is these streets on the bus, going to school, on my way to work, in the daytime, at night. Every day I step outside to the judgments and fears, reminding me of my place. I tire, but I never let it break me. My spirit has weathered too much for me to ever let down. And every lesson about migration, gender violence, homophobia, the patriarchy, economic inequality, I have concocted to produce discussion comes screeching from squiggles in their notebooks right into their face, speaking a language that calls both mind and heart to the discussion. They can't look away, hide in textbook descriptions, or parrot back to me essays of what they think their profa wants to hear. Before them, this tall, hazel-eyed mujer with shades of walnut frame indigenous features. Full lips form every lilt of word, some careful and determined, some soft and hopeful, some matter-of-fact and biting. Her laugh cuts through any sorrow. Students' eyes wide and careful, stumbling, polite, words to get it. What else do you want to know? Do you want to know how I do it? Where I put it? Who I let hold me? What my status is? Are you thinking about it? Do you want to know? Because I do. I want to hear it all. Don't be afraid. Now is not the time to hold your tongue. Here I have the time to speak back for each time they tried to break me, steal my humanity. I won't judge you. I won't hurt you like they hurt me. She weaves stories of being tied to a chair until she washed secret stash of makeup from her face, or rejected dreams of dresses and tight jeans, played with socks stuffed under blouses to imitate curves. Her mama told her were not for her. Her father snuck her dolls, knows she likes pink, whispered, "Mija, tú eres mi hija," when her mother was out of earshot. Her brothers stopped walking with her to school, ran up ahead so no one thinks she belonged to them. She didn't sell her body over there. She worked in a second-hand clothing store, adopted by a fairy godmother who showed her how to contour the edges of her face, friendly con las chicas de la calle, but didn't want that life. Wanted to go to school, wanted a career, had a boyfriend who took her shopping and to the movies. After class, over Chinese food in the Castro, proud of every English word she can use to order her chow mein. She says, "Anything. Do you want to know what I have done? I have earned every cut." And I think about how my own body has been under attack on these streets, the way men have whispered and even hissed, "Nice tits, wanna fuck?" while walking 2 blocks from my car on Cap Street to queer think it's safe to be a sexually actualized mujer. Catcalls regulate who belongs where and who and how and when, and no matter how many degrees or dollar signs I add to my name, safety is something I will always have to think about. Old wounds leave scars on my psyche. But I will never know what it is to have been beaten, unrecognizable, for the body of mujer that is still being sculpted, emerging from these stories like a song in rehearsals, ready to sing, practice, polished, almost effortless. She says, "Ask me anything." I tell her, "I want to hear more about your boyfriends. Do you believe in love? How are your English classes going? Do you like your new job as a health promoter?" The things I have done for love, the things I have to do to survive in este país. She scrunches her nose. "Tú no eres lesbiana si te gustan las buchas, mujeres masculinas. She works so hard to be the woman she is today. She can't imagine falling outside the lines of gender on purpose, a propósito. She says she always wanted to know what it was like to kiss a woman, though. And we laugh. I am patient with my own stories. What is under the dressing I present? That my queer is on purpose, that my femme is on purpose, that it was earned with discovery, doubt, self-love, like she did. Never found a boy that could make love like a woman, although I tried. I tell her loving women is like loving myself times 2. Queer word, hard to say the vowels, get caught between lips and teeth and the silent when she speaks it. We don't have a word to translate what queer means, she says. And you know, femme was never about the clothes, the presentation of the box, or who holds my hand. My femme has wild teeth, has tomboy roots, ragged nails, has scars from sliding into first base, dresses ripped by clumsy boys, fights nightmares of war stories. The hard shell of my femme holds sweetness, caresses bruises, and rings knuckles in case I have to fight my way out of danger. Thinks, but can I run in these heels if I have to? My femme flags queer with nail polish and glitter, the books I read, the friends I make into family, and raises my own eyebrows at gender, the way Oakland queers express themselves with their asymmetrical haircuts, fashioning radical politics out of ironic t-shirts, commentary, and community gardens, fanny packs, neon leggings from my youth, and wear bright lipstick to work. My femme has put my tomboy to bed, knows how to take pain that is wanted, negotiates the terms, consenting sexy, whispers, yes, yes, yes. My femme's been beat down from the self-hate, the shoulda couldas in my rear view. The wound is my trophy, the fear my soft armor, digs bare feet into earth, calls moon to chest, ocean-washed request. Dresses of sadness with sequins and fake flowers to the hilt when I want to, shakes off the cobwebs, and cleavage that begs, come on please, I dare you. Even these chichis are political. I'm exactly as I should be. She didn't come here to this country to sell her body so that she could get the body that she wants. That is not the story she came to tell me. It was a job. Some give it away for free. I got paid for it at least. She says, don't ever feel sorry for me. That's the worst offense you could offer. The rest doesn't bother. My spirit is stronger than it ever has been before. And this is how I learned femme solidarity. Reflected femme fierceness from women who have earned it, who are different, who are femme on purpose, just like me. Thank you. Phew. I can hear your energy through the screen there. Thank you so much for like leaving comments and just, you know, that's an intense poem for me to even read. So I'll just do a really short one and then we'll move on with our timeline. This one's called Homegirl. I've done it a lot, but you know, this is a new audience and you know, it's after a very controversial person in these days. If you, I would recommend following and looking at the Dignidad Literaria if you want to, you know. So anyways, I'm not going to mention names right now, but anyways, it's called Homegirl. You bring out the homegirl in me, the one that has your back, the inner cha-cha chola, the big hoop girl, burgundy lips and sticky gloss kisses, the chingona intellectual who'd write the hoochie feminist manifesto and who'd cut a bitch just to see you again. La si pues vos sos mi a la gran puchica, that broke ass love, that novella chick that just keeps coming back, the if I can't have you, then no one else can, the gender deviant femme drama and butch trauma, the Diego and the Frida, the ones your mamas warned you about, the steam from the jungle heat, the jaguar queen and jade obsidian, the social butterfly turned homebody, the quetzal bird's necessary freedom. I'd give it to you. Cause homegirl, you bring out that puta madre mas cabrona punk ass bitch that don't need nobody, but just has to have you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna fix my hair real quick. I got all sweaty and warm. Woo! All right. I have the bios for who's next, but I'm not 100% sure who is next. I have, yes, Alison DeLaCruz up next. And here we go. Alison, also known as Dela, is a director, dramaturg, and has worked with queer artists such as Nathan Ramos and many others. Oh my God, there's such a great list. They do dramaturgy, adaptation, youth development, generative processes, community organizing, dialogue, workforce investment, and playwriting over 10 years. And I am so proud and honored that they have joined us for this event. And I'm so looking forward to this piece that I've been hearing a little bit about. So please welcome Alison DeLaCruz, live and direct from LA, aka Carson.
See house. Okay. Hello everybody. I'm so honored to be here, and I think I had my volume down because I was nervous, and so I apologize if I missed earlier. But I did get a chance to just appreciate and love everything. So this is a piece that actually started several years ago, and I've recently picked it back up because it had to be edited, and I think it's actually part of 12 love letters. Doing a lot more talking about it, I'm just gonna do it. This is a love letter to Black and Black people, part 1, the intro. Dear Blackness, I love you. Dear Black people, I love you. Dear Blackness, I love you. Dear Black people, I love you. Dear Black women and Black men, I love you. Dear mixed Black people, I love you. Dear Black trans women and Black trans men, I love you. Dear Black queer folks all along the spectrums, Black binaries and Black asexuals, I love you. Dear Black children, Black teens and tweens, I love you. Sweet Black girl and sweet Black boy, sweet Black babies, and of course all the wee littles, I love you. Dear Black elders, sweet Black elders, I love you. Stern Black elders, philosophical Black elders, progressive, poetical Black elders, I love you. Dear Black ancestors, I love you. I honor you. I honor you wherever you may rest, whether it be in a marked or an place, from across the ocean, across the land masses, from here and there and everywhere. But what can the love of one person do? What will the love of one person solve? How will the love of one person solve? And why would the love of one person matter? At this time, when you are still hurting and still under attack, I see you. I speak up. And I listen more, and I listen more deeply. And I know that I need to continue to be better for you, the people I love. See, Blackness, Black people, very, very long time now. And I don't know, I know that I haven't shown you enough. I know that I haven't respected you enough. I know I haven't cited your brilliance enough or quoted your elders enough or listened enough to Black youth. I haven't shown you enough gratitude or love or hugs or the little kisses of care and affection if we were so intimately inclined. Because Blackness, Black people, I love you. And I just want to see you and reflect back to you the divine love and grace that you have given me, that you have shown this world, and that you in the United States of America. But I know that I haven't spoken up enough when me or someone like me as part of a larger we of Filipinx or Pinayx or Philams, or me as part of a larger we of Asian Americans, or me as a part of a we of mixed white Americans and the larger white community of white people. With all hearts and all these places within me, I know that I still have to show you, do the things that show you that I love you. And I know that me as a part of a we have grown so much and learned so much and discovered a part of ourselves because of Black culture and Blackness and the emotional, intellectual, physical, and spiritual labor of you Black people. Me as a part of a we, understanding that we who have used words and dances and sung songs, who make food and show love like, and accessorize our body and clothe our bodies like, or accessorize like you, Black people or Black culture. And that me as a part of a we, to honor that I have also been a beneficiary and been part and party and generously allowed to witness Black healing, Black self-love, radical Black queer self-love, Black family love, Black neighborhood love, Black community love, diaspora love, and the superhero, super shiro fandom in its worldwide, that I see that just to witness is not enough. And certainly it's not enough to just take or partake or receive from you. And I know that if I love you, I need to do better, that me as a part of a we have stood by as I have seen other Filipinx or Asian Americans or white people appropriate or straight up take Black culture and not acknowledge it or sometimes even see you. That me as a part of a we have watched and learned from creatives who have ripped from Black culture and the inspiration of Black people, only to repackage and repurpose and reconstitute and recalibrate the words, the moves, the objects, the processes, and so much more created by you, often for you, Black people. And that passing fascinations of Black people, Black culture, Black faith, Black economics, Black science, Black ingenuity, Black creativity, and Black magic is used and sometimes abused and never acknowledged. And I have to acknowledge that me as a part of a we lives in a country, lives in a state, lives in a city where there has been so much violence and so much killing. And I know that it needs to stop, and I continue to speak out and I continue to speak up, but I know that it's not enough. Because me as a part of a we is in a queer community who sometimes, even in how the very origins of our queer liberation movement, has at times erased the reality that our founding mothers were Black and Latinx trans women. And I know that me as a part of we are truly heartfelt about loving Black people and Blackness, but I know that me as a part of we must step up and what I keep asking myself is, how can people that I love them? What does radical love of Black people really look like? And I understand that no matter how down I am and how much I love you, and no matter how many cultural tools and practices and guidances I've received, no matter how many passes I've gotten or cards I've been given, that no matter how many Black people have been my partner or a part of my extended Filipinx and white family, matter about all of those things, how much I love you and honor you as a Black person, and I will never be. And I'm standing here to tell you that I love you. I'm not here to ask you to pet me on the head or give me props for loving you. I do it willingly and lovingly and freely and gratefully, because you have loved me and taught me patience and humility. And I know that it is my job to back to you, to invest that love back in you, to herald and declare my love for you in public and on the internet and in all the ways of my moving through the world, centering what you need. And I know, and I am continuing to talk to white people and Filipinx people and Asian American people as part of that showing of the love, because me as a part of a we here in the United States of America, me as a part of a we, I want to help not only fight anti-Blackness, but I also want to herald that I love Blackness. And that I want America to acknowledge that we are not who we would be if it was not for Blackness, if it was not for the beauty and the richness and the love of Black people and their contributions to this place and all of the places around the world. And that if I center my love on you, Black people, mixed Black people, Black women and Black men, Black trans women and Black trans men, Black queer folks all along the spectrums, Black non-binaries, and Black children, Black teens, Black tweens, sweet Black girl and sweet Black boy, sweet Black baby, elders and Black ancestors. I write you this love letter as of many, because I know that even in me offering my love, it is not your job to accept it. I know that even in offering my love, it is not your job to like it, but you can tell me how it feels. and that I shouldn't try to force my love on you or ask for your gratitude or expect anything in return, because love as love is about giving it back and not asking for anything in return. And I need to keep showing up for you in all of your love languages, in all different ways and in all of the different lanes, and knowing that it's not just about this month of action, but that it is about continuing to love you tomorrow and the next day and the next month and next year and the next millennia. So like the love letter, I'm just here to declare that I love you. And I know in the light of pure love, I'm not worthy, and I am endeavoring to be in community and in family with you, to do my be the best you that you can be. Black people, I love you. Blackness, I love you. And I hope you will continue to see in my deeds and my actions from this day forward. With love, Alison. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I'm just having all kinds of feelings right now. That was just so much love washing all over, and thank you so much for that piece. I'm really emotional. But moving through this journey with you all this evening, I want to welcome and introduce our host back, who's going to share some words, and she always brings it. So please welcome back Anel Flores. Ciao. Ow.
All right. Thank you so much, Maya. Thank you, Alison. Thank you, everyone. I'm just going to get to it. I'm going to be doing a piece that every time I read, I think I should read this piece again, but it's timely. So I wrote it in 2016, the morning after the Orlando shooting. Breaking news, it's not okay. 2016, 49 shot dead and 53 injured at gay nightclub, Pulse, Orlando, Florida. June 13th, 10:15 a.m., the next morning. I called my mom because I longed for the feeling of being the feeling of being held, a space to safely crumble and cry. The ambulance lights still in my mind, their black and brown faces look like friends of mine. Lovingly raised me on fresh frijoles, tortillas, and peace be with yous, asked, "Mijita, are you okay?" I said no and wanted to tell her why, but she interrupted me before I could elaborate or spit out any feelings. She told me, "We need to pray, mijita. Virgencita Jesucristo is waiting for a mugre election up to them." "No, but mommy, I'm scared about last night." And she can know, I know, that's why our Lord wants you to go to him, mijita. I kept saying, I am scared, I am in my head. I wanted desperately for her to hear me, wanted her to just listen, like I wanted her to listen when I was scared 23 years before, alone in my dorm, afraid because the student from Lubbock across the hall told me I'm to hell, and her Odessa, Texas boyfriend smeared dog shit on my car. But mommy stopped talking to me back then after she found out I was of las otras, a lesbiana. I told her again, "Mommy, I'm scared of all the hate in the world right now." And she interrupted me, "Mijita, I'm praying for our world, praying for the evil." And I remembered when I was told by a praying man that I was evil for being a lesbian, a disgrace, disgusting, committing mortal sin. And then I remembered that our soon-to-be president and his posse said those same damn words about me and all my queer and transgender hermanas, hermanos, hermanexes, my brown, black, Muslim familia, my sisters, y mi gente, coming to the U.S. for dreams of quiet skies, food, and rest. Then I remembered my Mommy is not the man I am afraid of. She loves me, but somewhere in all the battles she had to fight between being punished for speaking Spanish, degraded by white teachers, segregation, Vietnam, ovarian, multiple sexual assaults from her bosses, her lesbian daughter, and the thing she has passed so far back behind survival. Somewhere she became so scared she stopped fighting, and I can't blame her. I reminded myself that my mommy has come a long way, gone through a lot, loves my wife, my daughters, and me very much, so I tried again. Mommy, I am scared, I said. And our daughter, this time, I thought it feels like to love her baby. You'd live for them. You'd fight for them. She held my brother to her chest and promised to leave the U.S. if he was called away to the Vietnam War. She felt the way I feel today, so I tried again. Mommy, I'm scared of Donald Trump and the hate he is fueling. I said, but something wouldn't let her hear me. Something wouldn't let the fear in her body, and she interrupted again before I could continue. Mijita, just have to pray. I wanted her to say I was coming over. She was coming over, maybe make me caldo, sit with me, but she didn't. I wanted her to say she was ready to fight for me, but she didn't. The mucus broke up into my nose, and I tried to, how scared I was again, but she kept praying and telling me it would be okay. And under my breath, on the other side of the phone, I thought, but Mom, I am scared, Mommy. I was scared to hold Erika's hand at the grocery store, Yummy, just getting out of the car. And I wanted to tell her that I'm in the parking lot when a huge pickup truck pulled up in front of us and someone jumping out to beat us with a 2x4, like I had seen done years before to a transgendered woman on Main Street and Evergreen, on her knees. I wanted to cry and release, but she couldn't hear me. She told me again, Mijita, I promise it will be okay, and started to say goodbye. Thank God, and the girls, I love them, mija. Stay on the phone so I could tell her why I was afraid to go to the bathroom alone. She told me it would be okay and to pray. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not. Before I knew it, she wasn't on the other side of the phone, and I thought I was alone. And then I found this pen and this poem, and you were there, and I was here, and I tell you, it is not okay. It was not okay when the old white man told me and my wife, let me take you both to the bathroom to feel what a real dick feels like. It was not okay when the male coach told me at a pep rally he wanted to rip the principal's red leather pants off and fuck her in the custodial closet. It was not okay when my young gay student was toys near the library over and over until one day he never returned to school, only to hear he in the bathroom and a rope burned his neck. It was not okay the day we realized there needed to be a suicide hotline just for LGBTQ. It was not okay when we realized we needed another hotline just for transgendered kids because the suicide numbers were so high. It was not okay when my ex-husband found it easy and foolproof to use our racist and homophobic laws to threaten her with the custody deportation. It was not okay when a girl is being poked in her school hallways and a football player told her she needs to send naked photos of her body to him, or else he'll do it again and again until he gets once. It was not okay when an adult man dragged my 13-year-old body to the beach, jammed his hand into my pants and my face into his, and it was not okay the 3 other times this same thing happened at 6, 11, and 16. It was not okay when our other daughter's roommate was raped in her dorm room by a swimmer at a Texas university, and he got a slap on the hand. She dropped out because she was pregnant. It was not okay when I held my father's gun to my head because I believed my fat, raped, ridiculed body was dirty and ugly, and my soul was not worthy of walking. It is not okay that when you started reading this, another woman was sexually assaulted in the U.S., and since then, 2 more. And before you are done, at least 1 more will be raped and grabbed and beat against her will or hit. It is not okay that 49 of my dear Black and brown sisters, brothers, fam, and friends were gunned down dancing to Disco Punta Negra on gay Latin just hours ago. And this year 23, next year 29, next year after that we will lose 20 more Black lives, and brown transgender murder in 2019 we will lose 27. In 2020 I'm losing count. Guia Espiritu, Sylvia Rivera, Spirit Guide Marsha P. Johnson, where you are, doused in sparkles, love and color, dance with us, dream with us, fight with us, free us from this patriarchy, because it is not okay. So do not tell me it is okay. I am fueled. I have a right to be, and I am not going to just pray. I am not going to let you leave here thinking it's okay. I'm going to yell at the man who comes at me next time. I'm going to gather people together so we can take this patriarchy down alive. I'm going to give my gente a safe place to thrive. I'm going to write our truths until someone listens. I'm going to walk with you to your car so no one can lay a hand on you. And I'm going to be a phone call away when you want to tell me how scared you are, or you just want to talk about your scars. It's not okay. And if you don't believe me, read this again. Thank you. Woo. All right. Oh my God. That whole, I open my heart and then have to close my heart back is real every time. And I'm just really grateful that you're here, because we can do this because we're here, and because Sylvia Rivera is there, and because Marsha P. Johnson is there, and Ansalua is there, and all of our guias and guides are here with us today, all the time. So with that, I'm going to get the major beautiful blessing and to introduce Charles Rice-Gonzalez. Years ago, and in arts, in communities of writing, communities of theater, and people of color. He is an amazing, gentle soul, a brilliant writer. His book, Chulito, you must buy. So please do that. And here is Charles Rice-Gonzalez.
Thank you so much, Anel. It's been an incredible evening. I'm floored and moved, and you were talking about opening your heart and closing your heart, and I'm like, oh, I have to read. I just want to sit and process all of these things. And I think that what he's read, keep reading it. It's classic and it's timely and it resonates. Tonight's been a night of a lot of tears, and I'm surprised, But anyway, thank you so much. I'll get to reading. I'm going to read tonight a piece that actually was born in San Antonio, since this is from San Antonio. It's a fiction piece, a short story. It's titled Deep Salvage is a Condition that exists in the HIV/AIDS world, where it's a current condition where folks don't respond to the current medications. So that's it. And I'm just going to begin reading. And it began a workshop at the very beginning, a little seed of it, but it's evolved. So I'm going to read just 4 pages of a 26-page story. Oh, I may hear fireworks in New York City. It's that time they start blowing them. I thought people didn't die of AIDS anymore. I lived through the 80s and 90s, and things are different today. No more friends dropping like flies, no more funerals every week, no more hospital visit after hospital visit, no more Kaposi, sarcoma, pneumocystis, Carini, pneumonia, or friends wasting before my eyes. So when I started dating David 5 years ago, it was no big deal that AIDS is like diabetes. It's manageable. People live long, full lives now. Back then, I buried Ron, Miguel, Ken, LeVincent, and Jamal, all within weeks of the other. These men, I danced and had sex and marched arm in arm as we fought for our lives. We swam naked in Fire Island, Quinn Island, and dangled our legs over the murky Hudson River at the Christopher Street Pier on the magnificent Manhattan Island. Ron grew so feeble that he couldn't use the voice he raised in protest at so many marches. Miguel withered from 220 pounds to 120 pounds in 6 weeks, as if the virus were eating him from the inside, and his lover Frankie lost his brilliant mind to dementia. Ken was determined to beat AIDS and tried every experimental drug available, and with each attempt, his liver got weaker and weak body poisoned itself. LeVincent's pale brown eyes were shut when Kaposi sarcoma moved from torso to his face. His body took over his lungs, but he managed to whisper farewell to me after each hospital visit, the toughest. Because I loved the way I did my other brothers. I was truly in love with him, but I was a coward and want to have to bury my beloved. I'd comforted many friends who had lost their partners to AIDS. Their tears soaked through my shirts as I held their heaving bodies, absorbing the shocks from the silent tremors of their hearts. Feeling their pain was overwhelming. I never wanted to be in their seat, especially if I could prevent it. So I had sex with Jamal, lots of it, but I kept my body safe and decidedly didn't go down the boyfriend road. But I didn't have to worry about shutting David's heart. After all, the AIDS crisis was over. As long as David took his meds, he was good. And there was a menu of antiretroviral medications that he found so low that they became undetectable. Gone are the days where diarrhea and nausea were part of the HIV style. But for some, they were so working or even leaving the house. Most of my HIV positive brothers and sisters worked, danced, drank, used poppers again, cuddled with their pups, fell in love, broke up, and even got married and had kids. I met David at a poetry reading, my first one since college days. I like to read the poetry. I never got it. My best friend Pablo invited me to the New Rican famous poet that he was me. There's Emmanuel, isn't he hot? Without taking my off his new bows, I snotted, no fucking doubt. Hey, Pablo warned, and I raised my palm, hands off. I scanned many hotties in their 20s, half my age. I figured Pablo and Emmanuel were going, so I searched through my phone, already planning my next stop before this one had begun. I was surprised to be engaged by the theatrics of the slam poets with their hand gestures and melodic delivery and bravura. I was tall, lanky, unimpressed, and unattracted. I got up to the bar near the entrance to cash in my drink ticket before I took off. Introduced his poem. His voice was flat and low. His eyes seemed too large for his slim face. Then he closed them and he leaned into them. My poem is titled Murmurs of My Broken Heart. Cheesy, I thought as he began to recite. His voice didn't have the verve of the others, but poured forth like an unraveling silk ribbon. His love poem was a simple story of hurt, betrayal, and self-redemption. You said it's no problem, but when you looked into my eyes, you saw the virus, not me. The room was silent, except for David's drone opening the chambers of his loneliness and inviting the audience inside. The poem lasted about 5 minutes. His last line, why couldn't you simply, felt like he had whispered it into my ear. When I finished, I felt the rivulet sliding down my fingers from gripping the beer. I took a quick gulp to push down the lump in my throat. It was if Jamal had come back from the grave to lament his loneliness. Jamal was a perfect soulmate and HIV positive, and it was 1991. He was like me, brawning, a lawyer, loved the movies and dancing until dawn, stayed to anything, and drank beer or scotch. Jamal said he loved me, and I responded jovially, I love you too, buddy. I don't mean like that. Then he placed his large, strong hand on my heart, like that. I was feeling it too. Instead, I moved his hand away, not me. He challenged me. When we fuck is not fucking, you know that. I looked away. He gently lifted my chin to look into my eyes. Baby, I'm gonna fight this, but I don't know how much time I have left. So love me, Marco. Please, for each other. But the AZT he was taking to fight the HIV severely damaged his liver, so he had to stop. The only other options were holistic and experimental treatments. He exhausted them all, and the virus took him over. I watched him go from viral to being led into the hospital room. I was with him on his last day on earth, in the chair on one side of the bed, and I knelt on the other side with my face pressed into his hand, which despite all its weight loss was still large and strong. My tears slipped his palm. I wanted him to feel them. I wanted him to know how much I loved him, was that he was dying, and how much of I give into my heart and love him back. But my words got jammed and materialized in those final moments. I wanted my tears to wake him from his coma, and then I felt his hand close over my face. I looked up and down at me. A warm smile stretched across his hot face. So I was dreaming about you, and here you are. Jamal, your mom is here too. She's sitting right there to say it then. Jamal, I've loved you all along, but I didn't. I was a 25-year-old Latino lawyer on the rise in a white-owned firm, still closeted at work, and HIV was stigmatized at the heights then. So I just thought about myself, think about him, or that sharing what I truly felt would be a loving act. Instead, I tiptoed to his mother to wake her and let her know that he was lucid. His body raised, then sank deeper into the bed as he sighed. He had been holding my gaze, then his eyes glassed over and he slipped away. I raced back to him. I love you, I finally said, and pressed my hands to his heart, but he was gone. I kept my hand placed there in case his spirit was still in the room. That he repeated, I love you, over and over again, until I heard his mother whisper, Jamal? Her house shattered the sterile quiet of the hospital room. When I buried Jamal, I knew I'd forsaken his heart to protect my own, but we both ended up brokenhearted after all. The eruption of applause brought me back into the that had jumped to their feet to cheer him. I gulped the rest of my beer, then ordered, though his words had touched my own pain and guilt around Jamal, I shuddered to shake the memory. Suddenly, David stood beside me and slid his drink ticket across the bar. And I'll stop there. Thank you so much for this opportunity to read that story that was born at Macondo. And thank you for all of you for this amazing night.
That was so beautiful, so amazing. Thank you, Charles. It's probably pretty late there in New York.
Yeah, it's just 10 o'clock. You know.
10 o'clock.
Yeah. It's just 10.
That's great. I feel like we've been having fireworks over here, pretty intense in Oakland as well. So so much for that reading. It was very beautiful. We have such beautiful artists tonight. Using the word beautiful a lot. And I'm going to introduce one of our final artists for the evening. Dee Mahone is a San Antonio local who works privately as a licensed barefoot massage therapist and natural healer. Proud of and open about her experiences, sexuality, and polyfidelity supporting partners, Dee is an activist passionate about community who has had the opportunity to perform in venues around Antonio, at Fiesta, and even more recently in the comfort of her own living room. That's right. Her poems are deeply expressive and visceral, giving her raw Black queer perspective on trauma, resilience, hope, joy, and compassion. Please welcome Dee Mahone.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Beautiful words. I legit was crying. So please excuse me. Sensitive over here. Let's see. So I have 3 pieces for everyone. I wanted to start with a piece that was a little bit of advice given to me by my dad since Father's Day just passed. And so we'll start there. It's called Prisms. When we were young, we were taught simple things, little lessons, some of which stick with us through time. We learn about rainbows and prisms. We learn that all spectrums of color combined make the color black. All things combined make black. I think of prisms, light filtering through, and I think of my dad's smile, like a prism, taking his light and shining it into his work. My dad, artist, you see, spinning turntables, building miniature worlds around model trains. He works with his hands, creating life, beauty, music, all from nothing, from charcoal, building a world up from graded black. I think again of prisms, and I think of my mom's smile, grinning and pressing forward like an indomitable force, a kindness that no one can run over. My mother is a healer, you see. She never gets sick, and those around her grow like weeds, thick and healthy, bright joy and color she spreads like a field of flowers, colors from her as if she herself were a prism. A prism is something that takes things other people forget about and makes something so beautiful. It filters pure joy and spreads it into rainbows. I think of the diaspora, but mostly I think of that indomitable joy. Joy in the face of hardship, face of oppression. I think of dandelions growing strong through cement cracks, blooming bright, bright yellow against the oppressive forces that try to keep them down, growing up from the earth like weeds, like the earth propels them forward. The earth herself propels all of us forward. We are the diaspora, and I can't help but think of creating from light itself all colors. I'm not religious, but they say that God's gift to humans was the rainbow, spreading across the earth after a storm, reminding the world that joy exists, love exists, flavor, laughter, music, dance, and culture, spices, all of the things that make this world worth living in, they all exist. Rainbows give us the gift of color, and Black get all colors combined. I'm a survivor of trauma, and recently with everything that's been going on, I feel that this conversation around racism is a lot like the conversations a lot of us should be having around abuse and those types of things, kind of addressing that diversion and looking away from something when it really needs to be addressed head on. It's obviously a Black problem, but it's not something that's really coming in other people's over their actions towards us. And the poem touches on that. Erosion is steady and minute. It washed my feet softly at first, lapping gentle waves that caressed buried deep into the loam. I once planted myself there, sending powerful base down, a sapling growing tall and strong out into the sea. And the growing was never easy. Each ring I earned as rain pelted my skin harder. Sun always to stay out of the shade, for I was a child of the light. And with time, I had been able to stand, my arms outstretched and open wide, a welcome respite, so that my rain-bitten skin became a canopy of protection. Big girls don't cry, but sometimes sticky tears force their ways out like molasses, a thick amber encapsulating shame, tears, and worries like crawling insects forever preserved. Hubris tells us that big girls don't cry, that if a tree falls in the woods, it's okay to ask if anyone heard it or if it ever made a sound at all. I had planted myself there, sending powerful base down, stretching vast arms out, unafraid of falling, a tree posed courageous in the light, erosion starting as a welcome drink of water for parched roots, a rhythmic scrubbing that slapped wildly, fresh air that exposure for all of me I had buried, It came like a thief in the night, robbing foundation grain by grain, until no earth held my heavy heart and hardened hull. When I fell to the earth, did you ask if I had made any sound at all? When the sea claimed me, did you witness my once protective canopy balding, clumps of hair blending with seaweeds on the shore? Erosion is steady and minute, floating adrift in the sea, softening hardened bark, regal shades graying over the years, strange creatures nestled against me, under me, all around and inside of me. Without a base, my will is just the will of the sea. And soon, when I'm pushed from these tumultuous waters, my roots scrub violently clean, my skin gray and soft, I will go by a new name, for who I had been will be gone. She was gone a long time ago, I guess. Never been there at all. No, she was, and it had always been driftwood. I wrote this today. Maybe it's some new shit.
New shit, new shit.
Steady words of the end fill the room as city breeze languishes tiredly through. We're a no AC in the summer house, and that's especially true now. During the pandemic, the relative collect, like, who really has AC money when you don't even know if you'll have anything at all in the next moment? Like, things are unzipping, falling away. It feels like a great cosmic cleaning. And for those of us that have been code switching just to never made safe for us, each day is another tiresome catharsis. Silent tears stream down our cheek. Our house is a safe year-round kind of house, and we don't ask questions that have had the answers the same given way for over 401 years. We hold hands instead, reach deep and muscle up buttercup, because the only way for us to go now is forward. So in the aftermath of in our tiredness, we're done dying, done living in fear, done living that to our own detriment, to comfort those uncomfortable with our existence. No more switching ever, like we're big done. No more policing, not tone, not hair. No, we're done. The contract was broken, the agreement was broken, and we are done. We want to live our black lives in the way our black asses see fit, and coming out. And this poem is for our collective Black and queer as LGBTQ's collective coming out poem, or whatever you want to call it. So my parents met my two daddies on Father's Day. My nesting partner's mom gained another daughter, Mother's Day. And other partner lost followers when the followers realized that, big surprise here, y'all, they're Black. So we're done. You weren't going to like our Black, lesbian, pansexual, androgynous, masculine, educated, Latina, creative, kinky, bodybuilding, magical and glittery, community building, witchy, melanated as fuck, animal loving, hippy dippy, rabbit food eating, cinnamon roll protection squad asses anyway. So I hope this poem has made it uncomfortably clear for you that what I mean today is we could be shot in our home, dying with our family, are able to get answers. Next snapped, and the scapegoat of a phony $10 bill hung up like strange fruit with no reason other than that we are Black. We are who we are. We love who we love. No amount of will ever assuage white guilt. So please stop killing us for it. We are done. We don't have to make you come. As a matter of fact, the only thing that we have to do, and if you're Black, feel free to say it with me,
is stay Black and die.
All right. Hello, everybody. I guess we're all on this together now.
Are we all on the screen?
Are we all on the screen yet? We're all there. I don't know how this works, but I think you can see all of us now, I'm guessing. Thank you so much, Dee. Let's give Dee a round of applause again. My God, what a way to close the show. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, y'all. We did it. We did it.
We did it. The first Voices in Queerantine. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. That was dope. Great show, people.